Hello, here. This is Rodrigo from Take Right Action, and today I have Navid Moazzez, which is the second interview that I'm going to do today with him. And Navid is a lifestyle entrepreneur and personal branding strategist, and a blogger, of course, a podcaster, and he's doing a lot of things online. And he's currently living in Stockholm, Sweden. Uh, and Navid helps entrepreneurs to build power, authority, and brands on themselves, and how they can be perceived as someone professional with a lot of experience. That is what he does, personal branding. And he's also host of the popular podcast and the web show, The Lifestyle Architects, which is pretty much one of the top podcasts in iTunes, and he pretty much did it in really short amount of time. And this guy has helped me a lot to build my brand, and it has been amazing to see him grow. Like in so little amount of time, he has done a lot, and he's now creating the biggest, like the most massive personal branding summit in the whole fucking world. So I have him here. Say hello to Navid.
Hey man, it's a pleasure being on again. We did this kind of we were talking a while back, on the take right action, show, and now I'm back, for kind of talking more about, you know, I created the branding summit, and I'm gonna share some, stuff about that, why I did that, and maybe even some of my story. What we can get into whatever. Like I'm happy to share with you, man.
Awesome. So I have a lot of people who are new to the blog, and I'm sure that many of the people haven't seen the interviews because they are long and they are lazy or whatever. So for those who are new and who have not seen your interview yet, can you tell me more about you, about what you do, and all the experience that you have been having in the last year?
Yeah, I mean, as I probably said on in the last interview we did, it's kind of the story where I went the traditional path, and I started off and kind of going to university and going to law school. I got into one of the top universities in Stockholm and went there. And then a few years in, I realized, that's not really what I wanted to do. I probably just had about 2 years left of everything there. But I took a risk. I said to myself, this is not what I want to do. So I just took the leap of faith and went after something else. I started reading more books and like meeting some people. They were doing more extraordinary things. They were traveling the world. They were doing all these things I wanted to do personally. But at the time, I didn't know how to kind of execute and how to get there myself. And that was the struggle in the beginning. I kind of started reading the books already in 2010, I believe, in the fall. How to win friends and influence people. Even a little bit later, I read also 4 Hour Work Week, which I'm sure many in your audience, they love that book. And Tim Ferriss is a big inspiration of mine. But even though a lot of people read Tim Ferriss' book and all that, they don't take action, on everything. It's a little bit overwhelming when they see that. So I just started. That's basically where I started a little bit, with kind of reading the books, meeting the people, like really connecting with people. And then it took me to 2012. Then I started to find a mentor. I think I mentioned that on the last show. And then that just helped me to get a little bit clear, in my mind. Even though I was still like kind of procrastinating, I was kind of jumping from thing to thing. And then moving on to 2013, then I mentioned on the last one, my brother, he passed away, and that just took me to kind of believe, what am I doing in this world? Why haven't I put out anything? I haven't even launched a website yet, and I've been talking about it for so long. We say we are going to do all these things, but we don't do it. So I was just thinking to myself, I gave it some time. Obviously it was sad, everything happened. My family went through some trauma and all this kind of stuff. But then in mid-June of 2013, I just launched my website. It was not perfect. It was just, WordPress site, and I interviewed Pat Flynn. and that kind of brought me into doing some interviews and building my brand and authority a little bit by association and kind of being seen by these experts. So I kind of just started it. I was super kind of super scared when I did the first interview with Pat Flynn, but I kind of got out of my comfort zone and I kept doing it, and I kept repeating this process over and over and over again till I got better, and that's kind of brought me kind of to where I am today a little bit. Obviously, I've had clients. I've kind of built, like redesigned my site, rebranded that, and it looks very professional. It looks like someone who's been online probably like 5-6 years. I've done that like in a very short amount of time and kind of got clear over like my how I want to look online, because I think it's important to look professional, have a nice online presence, and that's a way to set yourself apart. If someone goes to, let's say, Lewis House site and they see my site or Pat Flynn's site, they can say, oh, Navid Moazzez site, it looks amazing. And it brings me a lot of clients because they see me, perceiving it at a higher value, and I can charge higher prices. And there's a lot of benefits of actually getting clear over kind of your brand and kind of also getting some, design eventually and investing in that. But that's where I am today. Really, like I connected with so many people. So when I kind of started to put together this summit, which your audience can you find everything about it at thebrandingsummit.com. It's even free to sign up for the event, and it starts from this is going live before even it starts, so people can sign up there. November 17 to December 14. It's all free to kind of join, like consume over hundreds of hours of education. I kind of went crazy with the interviews there. Like, if you like my podcast, it's like my podcast on steroids. So that's a little like brings us where we are today, Rodrigo.
Awesome. And when I interviewed, like in the beginning of the year when we did the first interview, you had just a couple of interviews in that moment. Like I think it was less than 10, but they were like huge people. Like Pat Flynn was your first interview, and for me that was like, holy shit, how did he did it so fast? And but now, like some months later, I remember at that time you didn't have like the podcast in iTunes. Uh, you still uploaded everything into SoundCloud, and you didn't have like too many interviews, and now you have like a shitload of people. Even Robert Greene has been in your
Yeah.
show, and you're right. The podcast that you have in iTunes is one of the most watched by every people, even in my country. Like you are in the in the top 5 in Central fucking America, and I'm like, holy shit! Like
Oh, am I?
people
Oh, that's
here
cool.
knows about Navi.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So,
amazing.
uh, how did you manage to do everything like so fast?
Yeah, I mean, what everything comes down to for me was kind of building, relationships with other people, and that's all it took for me. Really, like going out there, being genuine, like trying to add value. I mean, it was not only influencers. I tried to help you. I tried to help other people in my surroundings. So it was really just adding value to so many people. And then now that I have something like the branding summit, I've launched a few things, like I had webinars, I did some things, I did some launches, but it was not anything major. This is a major thing I'm launching. It's going to grow my brand and, obviously business a ton. So next year I actually will have some training for anyone interested in hosting a virtual summit. And by the way, it works in any market, any market. And and a virtual summit is essentially, it can be a series of interviews and can be like pre-recorded, can be live, and it will be with kind of experts or authorities, thought leaders in your space. And that's kind of one way. I decided always to surround myself with those people, that could take my brand to the next level. Like, for example, by interviewing someone like Robert Greene or Pat Flynn, or now interviewed Neil Patel, I've interviewed John Lee Dumas. I've interviewed the people that I look up to personally, and that I know many people in my audience, they also know, like, and trust, because I have interviewed them. People also see, okay, Navid interviewed all of them, and he did a really good job on the interview. It's not really I just interviewed them. It was really, my podcast. I try to kind of dive so deep, so it's like a training. So it's like something worth paying for, even if they watch an interview or if they listen to an interview I've done with someone. That's what people say at times. People reaching out to me, you should charge for this. It's better than courses I paid hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for. And that's been my mindset from the very beginning, to kind of exceed my audience and my clients' expectations in a way, really wow them. That's why I spend, sometimes it takes me 40 hours to write one of these guides. 40 hours, that's to write one piece of content. But you know what, the interesting thing is, it sits there. It's gonna, when I create it, it will be there for life. I have this guide I created based on an interview with Tyler Wagner, and it stays on my site. And now also, since I rank on Amazon for the key, or sorry, for on YouTube for the keyword, I kind of get leads on autopilot there. I get signups all the time from this little guide. As I wrote as a content upgrade for this podcast and the blog post I wrote. Same thing with building a relationship, like exceeding the guest expectations. I wrote a massive guide based on an interview with Cal Newport. He's the author of So Good They Can't Ignore You, and he wrote back to me and said, this is one of the most impressive kind of write-ups based on my advice I've ever seen. Kind of helped me out in the
You blew
future.
his mind.
Yeah, I blew his mind. I mean, I spent like 30, 40 hours on this thing, making images, making all this thing. And, you just do what other people can't do, or what they are not willing to do. Let's say the summit, for example. I mean, you have seen my summit, Rodrigo. You've seen that all these people. You see the design. You see everything behind it is thought out. But it wasn't always like this. I started this process in the summer with an idea. I said to myself, I think it was a Sunday evening or something like that. Maybe I had a chat with my designer. Sometimes I get ideas. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this summit. I was like, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to reach out to people. I'm going to interview, create. I didn't think I was going to create the biggest summit. I was like, maybe I can have 25 people. That's going to be good. But then as I wrote down my list, and as I started to reach out to people, it just kind of grew. Now it's the kind of people reach out to me and they want to be on the summit. So I kind of have to say no to some people as well now, because I have a lot of people, but I don't want to have it more than now. It's kind of topped. So that's essentially it. Start doing what other people are not willing to do. Do something else, do something better. Create something more epic. Go out there, see what's in your market, and just try to see how you can stand out. This summit, influencers pay attention. They are kind of watching. I get requests now to host virtual summits because they see they are watching what I'm doing, right? They see this, they pay attention to something, and that's not. I mean, I'm just building my business from kind of the living room in my apartment here in Stockholm, and I'm going to Thailand soon, and I'm going to continue there, kind of launching something, whatever. But that was a process that took a ton of hard work, so I also want to be upfront with that.
Awesome. So now that's really clear. This branding to me that you are building has become from this tiny summit to the biggest and most valuable branding summit in the whole fucking world. And it's going to help people specifically in personal branding. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. But I have, the funny thing here, you might say, personal brand. Obviously, there's a lot of things that goes into that. What I specifically focus on is the kind of I had in mind when I had a defined theme. I had a theme that I wanted to focus on, and that was obviously for people who want to get from launching, growing, and then eventually making money from their personal brand. That was my goal. I wanted to have the process. So I wanted to get people. So when I thought about who am I going to get on for the summit, I cannot divide it into two sections because that's how I grew. I wanted people who can talk about the launching. I wanted people who can talk about kind of publicity, how to get on other podcasts and major news and different things. And I wanted to have people who can talk about content marketing, how you grow your blog, how you get traffic. So I have even Rand Fishkin on. He's the founder of Moss. Like his company's revenue is like $24 million per year. He's something crazy, and I have him on my summit. Obviously that's brand. Kind of I collaborate with someone like that and associate myself with him. Kind of grows my brand as well, and of course he's seen in a good light with some of his friends on my summit. That's just kind of grows itself, and I focused on some people that are big, in the space that you probably already know. If you go visit, thebrandingsummit.com, you can check out all the speakers. But I also focused on some people that you may not be familiar with. Some of them are my friends. Some of them, they are doing interesting things and are kind of up-and-comers in a way. And I like to see that and also give them a chance. If I think they are doing something worth kind of paying attention to, I also reached out to them and featured them on my summit. So that's kind of how it grew. So I believe that it's a lot of things. It's not just kind of, hey, what's going to a website. It's so much more. It's just a step-by-step process. You can kind of go from step A to kind of like launching. They can kind of focus on promoting your brand. How do you get out there? How do you get traffic? How do you get even more clients, to your business? And then, yeah, it's everything is essentially, I've covered most of what you will ever need. It's kind of the biggest database, and that kind of was my goal. Like within a few months after I came up with the idea, then I said to myself that I wanted to create the most epic experience ever. Like I wanted to have great design. I wanted to have like make the promotion easy for the speakers and the partners I have involved. I'm doing this interview now. I mean, we have kind of the promotion for the summit and getting it out there. That's just the way I am. I wanted to make it so easy for people to promote the summit, so they would actually want to promote it. And I have people telling me that now, and that's just a tip. Yeah, make it easy for people if you want to kind of reach out to them and kind of collaborate and do things together.
Awesome. And let me think how to express this question. Who will be the people who will benefit most of this summit? Like, can people who do not know anything about brand
Yeah,
come here and do not get lost? Or even if
sure.
there are people who are fucking experts already and think maybe, I already know these things or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure
no,
that even those
totally.
guys can.
Totally, man. I believe that the way I structure the summit, I have like for this beginners, of course, beginners can get a ton of value. I mean, they can learn so much from this summit. I really made it easy for them to grasp all the ideas. But then also intermediate, even if you're making six figures and have a business, or even seven figures, you can get tons of value out of this conference. It's really like I mean, since I have so many interviews and they are very in depth in some cases, really going diving deep. We have like, for example, I have some interviews about what's going into a website, what's working there. I have really how have about SEO, what's working in SEO in 2015 to kind of grow your brand. I have really some really advanced also interviews. It's not only like, hey, how do you kind of set up a blog? That's not really what I focus on too much. There's tons of tutorials about how to set up a WordPress blog. That's not really my thing. I wanted to dive into more like important things, how you can kind of build your brand, how you can grow it, and then how you can make money. And we dive into some really advanced things at times. But so that's also what's different about my conference. It's not only kind of a beginners conference where we touch upon some topics and then the speakers, they will pitch their product. Then there's no pitches. Of course, if you want to check out their site and go and buy a product from them, feel free. But it's really about the information and that you will learn. And that's why I believe that this is the one of the most valuable things that you can attend. And I think it will only grow from there, and people will just. That's obviously a little biased, but I opinion.
Awesome. And also, can you list a little bit of the names of the people who are going to be there in the summit?
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
that there is going to be a lot of people there.
there's a lot of names. So, I mean, if you want a full list, just the brandingsummit.com is the link. You can sign up there totally for free and see if this is something you would like to check out more. And from November 7th, yeah, November 17th to December 14th, you'll get like kind of emails every day if you sign up with all the content. And there's several interviews going live every day, so you can kind of pick and choose the ones you're most interested in. But if you're getting into some names here, kind of name drop some people, your audience might be familiar with Neil Patel, obviously. He's a big name, the founder of, his Quick Sprout blog, Kismetrics, Crazy Egg, all this kind of stuff. And he's an amazing entrepreneur. And then we have John Lee Dumas, the seven-figure podcaster. He's about to hit $2.5 million plus this year from doing podcasts and his courses and different revenue streams. And he's just an amazing, amazing brand in a very short time. So he's a great add to the summit for sure. Then we have Marissa Murgatroyd. I don't know if your audience is familiar, but she is also very good in personal branding and kind of storytelling is what we dive into. So story, kind of how you can tell your story, and I mean use your personal story to kind of grow your brand, get more ideal clients, and so on. Then who else? I mean, we have so many, like Mark Schaefer. We have him. He has one of the top blogs, in the space, businessesgrow.com, and just amazing. Also, kind of thought leader. Who else do we have? We have so many. Yaro Starak, they might be familiar with him. He's been blogging for a very long time. We have, we have like master copywriter Kevin Rogers. Like he's just phenomenal when it comes to several things. And then we talk about podcasting. We have, for example, Chris Gilbert's son is on there. We have actually, we have Dane Maxwell is on. Your audience might be interested in him. I know he's very popular in kind of your circles, I believe, and he's just great. He's gonna be on my summit. Also, this is a big name, James Clear. If you don't know James Clear, I don't know where you've been living, but he has one of the fastest growing, private blogs on the internet. He got about, in 18 months, he got 70,000 subscribers. 18 months. And he didn't do that by guest blogging. So he will come and share kind of how he did different things, use different strategies to kind of grow his blog, rapidly, and obviously his personal brand too. So there's just, a few names there, and I hope I got some people excited about it, but if not, you can always check out all the names at thebrandingsummit.com. It's going to blow your mind. There's some really great content there.
Yeah, definitely. This month is going to be crazy for me with there is a lot of things happening in my life right now, events and such as yours, and I'm like, shit, how the fuck I'm going to get the time to attend to all of this?
Yeah,
But
I
this
mean,
is
the
amazing.
thing is as well, with the summit, it's a free event. I'm gonna be completely, honest with your audience here. It's free to sign up to the event, but I also have a pretty sick bonus deal, an early bird offer for people. If they sign up first for free, that you can get access to the free event for the full month of, from November 17th to December 14th. But I also have kind of this early bird special where, obviously you get access to all interviews. You will have that in a membership area, and nice, and you have access to some bonuses too, which are very exclusive. We are going to have not only one, not only two, not only three, but 16 live Q&A calls with me and with some of the top speakers of the summit, and that's totally included if you purchase the Branding Summit kind of all access pass. And that's just, today, as we're recording this, it's $97. It will go up very quickly because it's a sick deal. People are telling me I should be charging at least like 500 or even $1,000+ for this package because it's like live. It's 1 hour with me and the experts, and they're charging hundreds, if not thousands, dollars per hour in some cases, and you get that as a bonus. Plus, you get access to, live events in Los Angeles. You get access to another live event in LA. So and there's a Facebook group where kind of speakers hang out. I will hang out there. Rodrigo is in there, so you kind of get to hang out there in this group, and that's just a way for you to kind of connect with me, connect with the speakers, connect with other like-minded online entrepreneurs, and that's totally in this kind of package where you get the early bird offer. And yeah, that's just a way for me to add value. You can check out the whole event for free, but if there's something you want to kind of take things to the next level and own it, because there's a lot of information, let's face it. I mean, there's over 100 hours of kind of education. It's like a university, and you don't really take in a full university study in one month. That's impossible. So that's why I put together this kind of package. But to sweeten the deal a little bit, I added some crazy bonuses, and the speakers were just happy to kind of get involved because it was such a great value add to the summit. So encourage you to first sign up for free, check it out if it's for you. Then you can see if something you want to do. Like, have this offer now, and that's for sure going to help you. And with all the bonuses, action, the group, Facebook can really help you keep yourself accountable, essentially. So yeah.
Fucking awesome.
No, the brandingsummit.com. Just check it out and see if it's for you. If not, just see how I built the funnel. That's another way, actually, I wanted to mention. Really, with even though you're not interested in everything, you can see how you build something. I always model people. I model like health summits. I always check out what other people are doing. So check out how I just set this up. And that's interesting. I studied a ton to kind of build this thing. It was not easy to set up. But now it's here, and I encourage you to sign up over at thebrandingsummit.com and check it out for yourself.
I think this summit is going to change a lot of things because, as people have told you, to be honest, I have seen and I have paid sometimes $1,000, $2,000 for something much less complete than this, and you're giving it for free.
Yeah, I give it for free for that time, and then if you want to access everything, is $97. Already starting getting sales, and people are, how can you give this away? Even people who bought, they wanted to pay me double. It's like, yeah, but that's how it is. I provide the value. And I wanted to make it this as affordable as possible. For people. And yeah, just why I decided to do it this way for this one, and I'm increasing the prices as I go. But yeah, for now, it's a good deal.
Yeah, this is definitely how things go evolving because people come to me and they say shit's like, but it seems hard and you took a lot of work and yeah, because when I started 2 years ago into doing all this shit, there wasn't all these things that there are now. Like, yeah. For example, after a few weeks, this is going to be free for everybody who wants to learn from ground zero. And let's be honest, 1 month ago, there was no one, absolutely no one who was doing this shit and who was giving so much value to learn about these things. And that's what I tell people, like, today, like, as we go in the present today, there are so many things now, free or even really low cost, who have massive value to learn about. For example, Chase Jarvis with his YouTube channel and his interviews, Fizzle at just $37. When I was starting, something like Fizzle costed like $1,000, and it was something much less complete and less detailed than Fizzle.
Yeah.
And now this is going to be here for everybody who wants to join. And even if they pay the bonus, it's just like $97, and I'm pretty fucking
lifetime access. Yeah, I forgot to mention it's lifetime access. You get access to everything. Or 85 or 86, whatever. That's 86 like video interviews. Every interview is like from 50 to 2 hours long, and there's like so in depth, and there's not really this like basic interview. We are going like diving more deeper into different topics and really exploring what works for them. And yeah, I poured my like soul into this project, and I'm happy to share that with your audience too, and hope they join into kind of the summit, check it out. If they enjoy it, they can also obviously you have this early bird offer. I'd be happy to kind of welcome them to my growing community.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. This is going to change a lot of things, and I'm sure that many people will see this maintenance and are going to think like, "Oh shit! Now I have to improve my game. I have to do something much better than this." And this is going to be hard for many people that I know. But again, something like this when I started would have costed like $5,000 easily. Like and paying maybe $300 every fucking month or something like that. And I know because I did got into some masterminds who I ended up like asking the money back, and it
Yeah.
was like $200 per month, and it was really
Maybe
fucking
maybe
shit.
I should charge like $200 per month. Who knows? But now, yeah, it's a good deal. Just sign up
Yeah,
there,
so
get free access. It's going to rock your world.
definitely, I'm pretty sure of it. Anybody who is watching this right now, go sign up. It's free. Don't be don't be a douche. Don't be an asshole. Like, do not fuck up your life by not joining into this. And definitely, I would recommend to buy the lifetime access because, as you say, it's going to be a lot of information. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be sitting in my computer taking a shitload of notes of everybody who will be talking there.
Yeah, man, it's really a great conference, and I put so much work into this project. So happy to like launch this with together with your audience now. It's kind of the official, like as we are recording this, the official kind of launch is happening actually the day after. So this is cool. So November 3rd is the official launch, and then the summit is going live November 17th, and you can watch that for free till December 14th. And obviously, if you want access and you're a little bit kind of impatient, you can kind of get access to all interviews even before the summit starts if you purchase the early bird package for $97, including all the fast action bonuses and live events, Facebook group, and even some more stuff I will add. I'm all about value. You know that. I from my podcast and all my blog posts. So that's the same thing that you can expect, just on steroids, kind of taking it to the next level with this virtual summit in here.
I'm pretty sure you are going to blow everybody's mind here.
Thanks,
Like,
man.
I'm really excited because I remember when it occurred to you to do this summit, and it was you were talking about me in Facebook and about doing this, and I thought like, oh shit, like this sounds big. This is going to take a lot of time and effort, but now
Yeah, and then
here
it
it is.
did.
Now,
Yeah, it
now
took me a ton of
it's a
effort.
reality.
I spent probably, for the people like watching or listening to this, I spent probably like 1,000 hours, like putting this together, interviewing people. It was a research project. I like doing research, but I took the time, and it was also I built so many amazing relationships. So now they are also promoting this summit. I have some big names like promoting it, and I wouldn't have gotten there without building the relationship first. So if we're gonna kind of give any parting piece, kind of guidance or something, is really to add value to other people's lives. Try to kind of build, connect with even one person like tomorrow, like take some action, reach out to this person. Other than signing up to my summit, of course, you should reach out to maybe even me, or if you're watching Rodrigo, reach out. Like try to send an email. It's not hard to find our email. You can go to, my other site, navid.me.com, just, find a contact form. Like that's the least you can do. Like try to add value, find like send an email. What did you learn from this? What do you want to do with your brand? And try to kind of see how you can help other people and just connect with them because you're genuinely interested in what they are doing. That's what's working for me, and I encourage you to kind of try to go the same route and start like not being so selfish. Just go out there, leave comments on blogs, share other people's content. That's how it works, and something I did, and I know you did that too, is buying even people's products, to get access to them, and that's one of the best ways as well to get kind of closer to someone because they appreciate you so much for doing that. So that's my final words. Sign up for the branding summit at thebrandingsummit.com and go reach out to someone you really admire and don't have an agenda. Just try to add some kind of value. Maybe that can be, you know, seeing on their site. Maybe you read their book even, and you leave an Amazon review. Can be anything. Just reach out to someone you admire, and that's kind of my final challenge.
Awesome. And definitely, it, I'm always trying to leave like one action at the end of the post, and this is, I think, pretty obvious. Just join the summit. It's free. You're going to get so much knowledge out of this shit. You will save thousands of dollars that you will have to pay too many courses to get just a tiny bit of information of everything that you are going to learn here. So this is fucking amazing. There is no other words to describe it. And this is going to be the biggest branding summit in the world, and it's going to be for free for all of you fuckers. So I appreciate it, and thanks to Navid for putting all this. I know, because when you told me about what you were going to do, I was like, shit. I just thought of all the work that you needed to put into this, and I admire you for it, man. You have really
Thanks.
done a lot into just a couple of months since I interviewed you.
Thanks a ton, man, and I appreciate it. And looking forward to see you soon. Maybe you're coming to Europe, who knows, and we can kind of connect. So I'm looking forward to see what you're up to as well, in the coming year and coming month to come.
Hell yeah, man. And I'm going to buy you a beer for all the help you have given me.
Yeah, that's great. All right, man.
Okay, is there anything else you want to add?
No, man, just, for today, it's sign up to the summit, check it out, thebrandingsummit.com. That's my final words. There's so much value there, so I don't need to add anything else here today.
Awesome. Okay, so thanks a lot for being here, for giving me a little bit of your time. I know you must be fucking tired of all the work that you have put into this last months, into putting all this together. So thanks a lot for your time, and thanks a lot for all your hard work. I'm going to be there trying to get some time into watching everything that you're going to put into this week.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
Okay, see you, man. Thanks a lot.
Bye.